Hi, this is Vaibhav Vaidya with the Fits on the Go blog here at ACC 16 in Chicago. We're joined today by Dr. Mary Walsh, who is the Vice President of the ACC. Thank you for joining us today.
My pleasure.
Great. Dr. Walsh, one of the topics that's always foremost in a fellow's mind is how do I go about finding my first job out of fellowship? Could you talk to us a little bit more about your experience as a fellow and getting your first job?
That's an interesting question. So, I think the experience to getting the first job really depends on what you want to do, and that should really begin early in your fellowship. Early on, you're trying to decide whether you are going to be interventional, EP, imaging, general cardiology, advanced heart failure transplant. All those decisions you're making early on. Once you've solidified, you really have to start then thinking about, well, now I know what I want to do, then where am I going to do my advanced year if I need to do it a year or 2 years in the case of EP or structural? And then what's most important to you? Is geography the most important? Is working at a particular institution the most important? For example, if you want to stay at your own institution, you kind of have to approach the job market differently depending on what you want. An example is if your entire family lives in a given city and you want to return to that city, it is not too early to make contact with the institutions in that city where you might want to work. Say who you are, find out what they might need, what areas of subspecialty aren't being well served, and you may even want to kind of make yourself into somebody who would fit into that particular institution or practice. If geography is not as important and really the exact perfect job is what's important to you, like for example, I'm an advanced heart failure transplant cardiologist. If I were absolutely determined I wanted a university job as a transplant cardiologist, I would prepare myself as best I could, focus on some research, and very early on start finding out where there are job openings in the university. One thing I do find when I'm speaking to fellows is that oftentimes you're unaware of job opportunities that aren't university-based because you don't have as much contact with clinicians and cardiologists who aren't university-based. So keep that door open a little bit during fellowship because that may be a great job opportunity for you.
Dr. Walsh, what would your advice be to fellows who want to be more involved in the activities of the American College of Cardiology?
Another good question. Firstly, make sure you come to the scientific sessions. I think there are a lot of subspecialty meetings that fellows choose to go to. I absolutely think this is the best meeting for fellows to come to because your subspecialties, whatever one you're going into, is represented here, but you're able to network with other fellows, and there are very fellow-specific activities here. So that's one thing. Most of the committees of the college have a fellow in training representative. And when a call for nominations comes out for those committees, which will be in the fall, you can look at those committees and submit a nomination or ask somebody else to nominate you so that you could become involved in committee work. You may join separate from serving on a committee. There are the sections and councils. The FIT section is one. There are many other councils and sections. So if you've already determined what it is you want to do, in your case you told me EP, so you can join the EP section, be a member of that section, receive all the information from that section. And the sections in general have work groups looking at various different, usually scientific activities, but sometimes practice related. You can volunteer for a work group. So there are multiple ways to get involved. There are also two other opportunities that you might be interested in. One is emerging advocates that is a program to learn about advocacy in the college. And then there's a leadership academy, which is after the fellow experience, more in the early career, but something to look forward to if you're a fellow.
Great. So there's lots of opportunities there for fellows like us. Thanks for highlighting these. For more videos like this, please go to youtube.com/fitsonthego.